Hello and welcome to Montana. We're on day like 5 of it being foggy, rainy, cold. I'm ready to see some sunshine, but there's still kitchen work that needs to be done. So I am tackling that today. It kind of helps keep the house warm. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Cece. My husband Kirk and I homestead in the big beautiful state of Montana. And what better way to heat up your house than to have a roaster going for hours and hours and hours and then do some tomato sauce. So that's what I'm going to tackle today. This is what the chicken broth looks like. It has been in this roaster for 48 hours, I believe. I did not add anything extra to it this time other than literally chicken feet and bones and water. I did not add vinegar. I did not add any kind of seasoning. Once this is cooled down enough, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in plastic containers and freeze it, just because it's very hard for me to can right now because my good burner on my oven or on my stovetop is not working. So as soon as this gets cooled down enough, I'm going to freeze it up, and then I'm going to use this to put my tomato sauce in to turn it into a flavored sauce. Meanwhile, if I'm going to be canning up stuff or whatever, I better get this stuff off my table. So let's take a look at what I got. I got a chicken teriyaki meal. I got an emergency sleeping bag. I got an emergency poncho, and these should be sweet potatoes and carrots, freeze-dried sweet potatoes, and dehydrated carrots. And the link for these are in my profile. Oh, and then this was from Azure. They messed up my order last time I went to go meet the semi. These are vitamins. I know what these are. So I need to get my table cleared off. These things are super great, I've been told. So I think both of these are gonna just go straight into our vehicle for the winter time. That way if something happens, we have a way to keep ourselves warm. And the rest of this will go down to the basement with the rest of my freeze-dried food. Sweet potatoes. Haven't tried that one yet. Okay, next step is I got the tomatoes here in the sink, and I am just going to chop them up and put them right in here. I'm not going to worry about the cores. I'm not going to worry about anything. Now, there is some that look like it has a little bit of, not great stuff. I'll probably cut that piece out. And then I will just probably quarter them, maybe a little bit more than quarter, and stick them in this kettle and bring them up to boil. This is not like a lot of tomatoes, and so I'm really glad that I bought just plain old tomato sauce already that I will add to this when I'm ready to actually turn it into like a flavored sauce instead of just plain tomato sauce. All right, 20 pounds of tomatoes. Gonna cook them down. I did put a little bit of water with them. I'm going to do it on medium, low, something like that, so it takes a while, because I still have school to do with the kiddos. Don't forget to leave a gap for freezing. There's a lot of bones in there, and so I'm just gonna kind of work around the bones and just do the best I can. I think I put about 2 gallons of water in when I was cooking up the bones, and I got almost 2 gallons back out. So that makes me really happy. This stuff is already kind of wanting to like gel up on me, so it is, I feel like it is really, really good quality stuff. This was the simplest one I've done yet. Literally just water, and cooked it for 48 hours. About halfway through, I added a bag of chicken feet, and voila, this will be great for colds, flu, Hopefully nobody injures themselves, but bone broth is really good for healing and protein and easy to digest and stuff like that. So this is going in the freezer and we'll dig it out as we need it. All right, I am about gonna end for the day. I have another gallon of pulp in the back refrigerator, and then I got a little bit more than a quart. And so I will turn this into sauce tomorrow, but I have dishes to do, I have supper to do, and by the end of the day, I'm starting to get a little low on energy. So this will wait, hopefully till tomorrow. Hopefully I can get it done tomorrow. But if it sits in the fridge for another day, it'll be okay. All right, it's the next day. I have 2.5 gallons of pulp. I am, going to open at least 3 of these just plain tomato sauce cans and see if I can get this to a solid 3 gallons of sauce pulp, and then I'll add my spices once this gets warmed up and is cooked down for a little. These cans are not quite a full quart, but it's gonna be close enough that I'm gonna go ahead. I think I'm just gonna add 4 and call it good. So in theory, that should give me, I think 12 solid quarts of sauce. And that'll get me at least started. So these come from Azure. They are organic. And yeah. Open these up and let everything warm up and cook for a little while. Okay, the thing is with me, I change my mind often as I'm working through cooking things. So originally I had thought I was going to try to use up all of my canned tomato sauce that I had bought from Azure and turn everything into a big, huge batch. I decided not to. Those are already canned. Those will work good for just plain tomato sauce. I'm hoping that this is gonna be about 3 gallons till I'm all said and done. I will probably cook this down and let more of the liquid get out, because eventually I will need to put in, I think 4 cups of vinegar total, which will make it a little bit runnier. That is kind of the biggest complaint that we have with it, is a lot of times it's not thick. So I went ahead and added some tomato paste to it, try to make everything thicker, and I'm just gonna let this cook down for at least an hour or 2 before I add all the spices, because the spices are only supposed to be in for about half an hour. So that's the plan for now. It may change as the day goes on. All right, I cooked it down. It's hot. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm putting a sack of cut up vegetables, sweet potatoes, onion, garlic, chunk of horseradish. Oh, I forgot the pickling spice. Whoops. The whole mixed spice. I forgot to do that. That's a very important thing. So I guess I better untie it and do that. And then I'll stick it in here and let it go for a half an hour, 45 minutes. And then I'll add the rest of the ingredients, which is like brown sugar, salt, pepper, vinegar, and let it cook again for another half hour, 45 minutes. And then I'll be ready to jar it up. But I forgot the whole spice. All right, I'm getting ready to can it. Here's the veggie bag. I'm gonna go ahead, just kind of set up everything right here. And I have the jars sitting in hot water. If you're canning from something super hot, make sure your jars are warmed up or they will crack. So I will just bring 2 or 3 over at a time, fill them up, and I'm not even gonna water bath them. I'm just gonna seal them up and they should be just fine. I've done this for several years. If for some reason I have some of them that don't seal, then I'll just heat them up and hot water bath them again. But I just cranked this thing up so it is nice and hot. So I shouldn't have a problem having everything sealed. that worked out really good. I have 12 full quarts, and then I've got a part of a quart that I'll probably just use for spaghetti tonight. I was really hoping for 12 quarts, and that's what I got. So the next thing is to give them time and see if they seal, and see if my idea of doing them in the roaster was an okay idea or not. Normally I just do it on the stove where I can make it sure that it's like boiling before I'm ready to can it up, and this time with the roaster it was a little harder to do that. So I'm hoping that everything seals up, and if they don't, I will just hot water bath them tonight yet, so they don't go bad. If I just have one that didn't seal, I'll just pop it in the refrigerator, not a big deal. But there they are. Now for cleanup. All right, I ended up leaving these sit all evening. Last evening I noticed that they were wanting to start to seal and they were still a little warm. So I checked them this morning and all of them have sealed. Oh, take that back, that one didn't. Okay, I have one that didn't seal. But stick him in the refrigerator, take the rest of those down to the basement, and I am done with food preparation for this week. Next week, I don't know what I'll tackle. But anyways, if you hung around to the end, thanks, and I'll catch you next week.